Self-worth is not something others can give you. It is something you claim for yourself. It's the unshakable belief that you are enough just as you are. When you recognize your value, you stop seeking validation in places where it can never be found. People who thrive on control, manipulation, or self-interest can only exploit the cracks in your confidence if you allow it. Reclaiming your self-worth is not just a choice, it's a declaration of independence. So, self-worth begins with awareness. Ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? Your identity isn't tied to someone's perception of you. It's rooted in the truth of your being. Recognizing your strengths, talents, and potential is the foundation of that awareness. When you know your worth, you understand that other people's inability to see it says more about them than it does about you. To build self-worth, you have to confront the internalized doubts and insecurities that tell you you're not enough. These doubts are often planted by the very people who seek to control you. They magnify your fears and minimize your achievements to make you question yourself. But here's the truth. The narrative they've written about you isn't yours to carry. Rewriting that story starts with giving yourself permission to believe in your greatness. Boundaries are a direct reflection of self-worth. When you value yourself, you no longer tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or neglect. Boundaries aren't about keeping others out. They're about protecting what's sacred within you. Setting limits doesn't make you difficult, it makes you authentic. And authenticity is the loudest statement of self-worth there is. And authenticity is the loudest statement of self-worth there is. Self-worth is not transactional. It isn't earned through someone's approval or diminished by their rejection. A person with genuine self-worth knows that their value remains constant, whether they're celebrated or ignored. This mindset is what disarms those who feed on others' insecurities. When they realize they can't shake you, they lose their grip. Owning your self-worth requires courage. It means being willing to walk away from situations and people that no longer align with your highest good. It means standing tall even when it feels easier to shrink. That courage comes from knowing that you deserve more respect, more love, and more peace. And it's that courage that makes others take notice. When you embrace your self-worth, you give yourself permission to grow beyond the limits imposed by others. You stop living small to make someone else feel big. You start setting goals and chasing dreams, not to prove anything to anyone, but to honor the person you were always meant to be. Growth rooted in self-worth isn't loud or boastful. It's steady, intentional, and undeniable. Its self-transparency increases gratitude when you reveal who you really are. Finally, self-worth is your shield. It protects you from being defined by others' opinions or actions. It reminds you that no matter what you've been through, you are not broken. You are becoming. It's a quiet confidence, a resilient strength, and an unwavering belief that you have the power to create a life that reflects your highest potential. It no longer is a matter of whether you fail. It is no longer a matter of whether Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's the way you communicate to the world what is and isn't acceptable in your life. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They're about protecting your peace, energy, and well-being. When you set clear boundaries, you're sending a message that you value yourself enough to create a safe space where you can thrive. It's not selfish, it's necessary. The first step to setting boundaries is understanding your own needs and limits. What makes you feel uncomfortable? What drains your energy or disrupts your peace? Identifying these triggers is essential because they reveal where boundaries need to be established. It's not always easy to recognize these patterns, especially if you've been conditioned to prioritize others over yourself, but self-awareness is key. Communicating your boundaries requires clarity and courage. It means being direct about what you need and why it matters. This might sound daunting, especially with people who are used to crossing your limits. But remember, your boundaries are not about their comfort. They're about your well-being. Be firm, yet compassionate. You don't owe anyone an apology for protecting your space. Enforcing boundaries is where the real challenge lies. It's one thing to express your needs, but it's another to stand firm when those needs are tested. This may involve difficult conversations, standing up to resistance, or even walking away from situations that don't honor your boundaries. It takes strength to stay consistent, but consistency is what reinforces your worth. Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines for healthy interactions. When you set boundaries, you're not shutting people out. You're inviting them to engage with you in a way that is respectful and mutually beneficial. This shift in perspective can help alleviate guilt or fear about being too rigid or too demanding. Healthy boundaries are a gift to both yourself and those around you. One of the most liberating aspects of setting boundaries is realizing that you cannot control how others respond. Some may resist, manipulate, or challenge your limits, but their reaction is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to uphold your boundaries regardless of their opinion. This shift in mindset empowers you to stand firm without getting entangled in unnecessary drama. Boundaries also evolve as you grow. The limits you set today might change as you become more confident in your worth and more attuned to your needs. Regularly assessing your boundaries ensures that they remain aligned with your current values and goals. Growth often requires adjusting the boundaries you've set in order to continue protecting your energy and fostering your well-being. Lastly, boundaries are an expression of self-love. They reflect the belief that you deserve respect, kindness, and care, both from yourself and others. When you set clear boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself from harm, you're creating the conditions for deeper connections and a more fulfilling life. Boundaries are a declaration that you are worthy of being treated with dignity and respect. Boundaries are a declaration that you are worthy of being treated with dignity and respect. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you have. It communicates more than words ever could, especially when dealing with someone who thrives on attention or conflict. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means you've chosen not to engage in a battle that doesn't serve you. It's a deliberate choice to conserve your energy and maintain your peace. And in doing so, you speak volumes about your self-restraint and inner strength. Silence doesn't mean weakness. Silence means being wise. Silence means taking a moment to reassess your situation. Silence creates space for reflection, not just for you, but for others. When you stop responding, you shift the dynamic. The other person is left to sit with their own thoughts and behaviors without your input to validate or refute them. This pause can be unsettling for someone who relies on provoking reactions to feel in control. It forces them to face their actions without the distraction of your words. Using silence is not about avoidance, it's about strategy. Engaging in unnecessary arguments or explanations often fuels the fire and gives away your power. By remaining silent, you are setting a boundary that says, I won't participate in this. This response or lack thereof can be more impactful than any rebuttal. Silence in this sense is an act of reclaiming control over how you choose to respond. Silence also allows you to process your emotions. When you step back from the noise, you give yourself the gift of clarity. You can assess what truly matters, what deserves your attention, and what doesn't. This self-reflection strengthens your ability to make decisions rooted in your values rather than reactive emotions. In that quiet, you find your voice in a deeper and more authentic way. Silence removes the distractions of everyone else and also removes the need to meet external validation. In relationships, silence can shift the power dynamic. A narcissist, for instance, often depends on your reactions to feed their need for validation or control. When you choose silence, you're removing the fuel from their fire. This isn't about playing games. It's about refusing to give someone the attention they crave at the expense of your well-being. It's about taking back your narrative and redirecting your energy toward yourself. Silence can also be a form of self-respect. It's the recognition that not every accusation, insult, or provocation deserves a response. Choosing silence in the face of negativity shows that you value your peace over the need to prove a point. It's a way of saying, I won't lower myself to this level because I know my worth. Silence in this way becomes a shield that protects you from unnecessary conflict. The beauty of silence is that it disrupts patterns. People expect reactions. They anticipate arguments or attempts to justify yourself. Silence breaks this cycle. It interrupts the flow of negativity and forces a pause. This disruption often leads to confusion or frustration on the part of those trying to provoke you. But it also signals that you are no longer playing by their rules. Acceptance. The interruption leads to forgiveness and forces a pause. Silence breaks this cycle. It interrupts the flow of negativity and forces a pause. This disruption often leads to forgiveness and forgetfulness. It appeals to the sense of freedom and empowerment. Finally, silence is a way of redirecting your focus. Instead of pouring your energy into someone else's chaos, you can channel it toward your own growth and healing. Silence gives you the time and space to prioritize yourself, your goals, and your happiness. It shifts the focus from external validation to internal peace, allowing you to build a stronger foundation for your life. Leveling up your life is about stepping into the best version of yourself and refusing to settle for mediocrity. It's about taking ownership of your choices, your habits, and your mindset to create the life you truly deserve. This isn't about competition with others. It's about competing with who you were yesterday. It's about asking yourself, how can I grow? How can I do better? How can I rise above my current circumstances? The first step to leveling up is clarity. You need to envision the life you want and define what better looks like for you. What are your goals, dreams, and aspirations? What habits or relationships are holding you back? Clarity is the foundation because it gives you direction. Without it, you're just going through the motions, but with a clear vision, every step you take becomes intentional. That means surrendering control. That means allowing yourself to be directed and surrender. Leveling up requires letting go of the things that no longer serve you. This might mean leaving behind toxic relationships, unproductive habits, or limiting beliefs. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it demands change. But that discomfort is where transformation happens. To level up, you must be willing to release what's weighing you down so you can make room for what will elevate you. For example, you level up to save the world with your unique skills, but that skill turns deadly against you. Investing in yourself is a non-negotiable part of leveling up. This could mean learning new skills, prioritizing your physical and mental health, or surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Investing in yourself doesn't have to be expensive, but it does require commitment. When you pour energy into your personal growth, you set the stage for long-term success and fulfillment. You set the stage for long-term success and fulfillment. Your mindset is a key player in leveling up your life. Negative self-talk, fear of failure, and doubt can sabotage your efforts if you let them. Replacing those thoughts with affirmations, gratitude, and a growth mindset shifts the way you see challenges. Instead of barriers, you see opportunities to learn and improve. A strong mindset turns setbacks into stepping stones. Discipline and consistency are the engines of leveling up. It's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, even when it's hard. Small, consistent actions compound over time and lead to significant results. Whether it's working on your health, career, or personal development, the key is persistence. Progress may be slow, but it's still progress. And having the pursuit of purpose is the key to success in life and business. Celebrating your wins, big and small, is an important part of the process. Acknowledging your achievements fuels your motivation and reminds you of how far you've come. It's easy to focus on what you haven't accomplished yet, but taking the time to appreciate your progress keeps you grounded and inspired. Success is not just about the destination, it's about the journey. Inspired by Nancy Emery, and before her in this book, Nancy Emery, leveling up your life is also about giving back. When you grow and succeed, you inspire others to do the same. Whether it's sharing your story, supporting someone else's dreams, or contributing to your community, your growth has a ripple effect. The more you elevate yourself, the more you have to offer the world around you. Choosing self-love over validation is a radical act of reclaiming your power. It's deciding that your worth isn't tied to how others perceive you, but to how you perceive yourself. Seeking validation from others often leads to chasing approval in ways that drain your energy and compromise your authenticity. Self-love, on the other hand, grounds you in your own truth and frees you from the need for external affirmation. Self-love begins with acceptance. It's looking in the mirror and embracing all that you are, flaws, strengths, and everything in between. It's understanding that perfection is not the goal and that your worth isn't diminished by your imperfections. When you accept yourself fully, you stop seeking permission from others to feel good about who you are. Acceptance is the foundation of true confidence. Don't expect perfection. Acceptance is the foundation of true confidence. Validation often creates a cycle of dependency. The more you rely on others to validate your choices, appearance, or achievements, the more you give away control over your happiness. Self-love breaks that cycle by shifting the focus inward. It teaches you to trust your instincts, honor your feelings, and celebrate your journey without needing applause from the outside world. Perfection is the model for madness. Self-love breaks that cycle by shifting the focus inward. The more you rely on others to validate your choices, appearance, or achievements, the more you rely on others to validate your journey. Number 3, choosing self-love also means setting boundaries with people who make you feel less than enough. Sometimes the need for validation stems from being surrounded by individuals who withhold praise or criticize unnecessarily. Self-love gives you the strength to distance yourself from these dynamics and seek relationships that uplift and support you. You learn that your worth isn't negotiable, and it's certainly not dependent on someone else's opinion. Self-love is a daily practice. It's in the little things, how you speak to yourself, how you prioritize your well-being, and how you handle setbacks. It's about replacing harsh self-criticism with compassion and celebrating progress rather than perfection. Each act of self-care, no matter how small, reinforces the message that you are deserving of love and kindness, especially from yourself. It's in the little things. How you talk to yourself is important because it reinforces the message that you are deserving of love and kindness, especially from yourself. When you choose self-love, you also unlock your inner strength. You stop letting rejection, criticism, or indifference shake your confidence. Instead, you see these moments as opportunities to grow and affirm your resilience. Self-love transforms challenges into stepping stones because it reminds you that your value isn't up for debate. It is constant, unwavering, and independent of others' approval. When you stay righteous, rejection and lack of confidence creates a chasm that creates separation. Self-love allows you to be unapologetically authentic. When you stop seeking validation, you free yourself to live in alignment with your true self. You stop conforming to expectations that don't resonate with your values, and you start creating a life that reflects your uniqueness. Authenticity isn't just liberating, it's magnetic. When you embrace who you are, you attract people and opportunities that genuinely align with your essence. Ultimately, choosing self-love over validation is about freedom. It's the freedom to define your own worth, set your own standards, and live life on your terms. It's about realizing that you are enough, not because someone else said so, but because you believe it yourself. Self-love is the ultimate act of empowerment, and it's a gift only you can give to yourself. And it actually is self-love. Turning pain into power is about transformation. It's taking the wounds life has given you and turning them into sources of strength, resilience, and purpose. Pain, while deeply challenging, holds the potential to teach, shape, and refine you. It's not about denying the hurt or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about using it as fuel to grow into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. The first step in transforming pain is acknowledgement. You can't heal what you don't confront. Ignoring or suppressing pain only allows it to fester, keeping you stuck. Facing it head on is an act of courage. When you allow yourself to feel the emotions tied to your pain, you begin to process and understand its impact. This understanding is the foundation for turning it into something powerful. And the ultimate goal of anything is the recognition of the reality of your situation, and pain often reveals your inner strength. In moments of hardship, you discover reserves of resilience you didn't know you had. Every challenge you've overcome has added to your capacity to endure, adapt, and thrive. When you look back at what you've survived, you realize how capable you truly are. Pain doesn't weaken you, it uncovers the strength that was always within you. Pain also brings clarity. It has a way of stripping away illusions and forcing you to confront what really matters. Whether it's a toxic relationship, unfulfilled dreams, or limiting beliefs, pain can serve as a wake-up call. It pushes you to reevaluate your life, make necessary changes, and prioritize what brings you genuine happiness and peace. Clarity born from pain is a powerful guide for growth. Clarity born from pain is a powerful guide for growth. Turning pain into power requires reframing your perspective. Instead of seeing pain as something that happened to you, see it as something that happened for you. This shift doesn't minimize the difficulty of what you've been through, but it allows you to find meaning in the experience. Pain can become a catalyst for growth, pushing you toward opportunities and strengths you might never have discovered otherwise. Channeling pain into action is another way to transform it. Whether it's creating art, pursuing a new goal, or helping others who are going through similar struggles, action turns pain into purpose. It gives you a sense of control and direction, allowing you to use your experiences to make a positive impact. Pain becomes less about the hurt and more about the progress it inspires. Connection is also a powerful tool in transforming pain. Sharing your story and being vulnerable with others who understand can be incredibly healing. It reminds you that you're not alone and that your struggles have value. Your pain, when shared, has the power to inspire, comfort, and uplift others. In giving your pain purpose, you create a sense of community and solidarity. Ultimately, pain can be a source of transformation. It challenges you to grow, evolve, and rise above what once held you back. The lessons it teaches and the strength it uncovers are gifts that shape your journey. Pain, when embraced and transformed, becomes not just a part of your story, but the reason you're able to write a new chapter with greater purpose and power. And that ultimately, pain can be the gateway that you reach to freedom, strength, and power. Letting go is one of the most liberating acts you can perform for yourself. It's about releasing the weight of the past and choosing not to carry pain, resentment, or regret into your future. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It means deciding that those experiences no longer have the power to control your thoughts, emotions, or actions. In that release, you find freedom. Letting go is a found filled with the calmness, the serenity, the presence, and the past. The first step in letting go is acceptance. You can't change the past, no matter how much you wish things had been different. Accepting this truth doesn't mean you're okay with what happened. It simply means you're no longer fighting against reality. This acceptance opens the door to healing by allowing you to focus on what you can control, your present and your future. Your present and your future. Letting go often requires forgiveness, not for the other person, but for yourself. Forgiveness is not about excusing someone's behavior. It's about releasing the hold that their actions have on your peace of mind. When you forgive, you're saying, I choose to free myself from the anger and pain tied to this experience. It's a gift you give to yourself, not to them. One of the most powerful aspects of letting go is the space it creates. When you release what no longer serves you, you make room for new opportunities, relationships, and experiences to enter your life. It's like clearing out a cluttered closet. Only when the old is removed can you see the potential for what's to come. This space is where growth and transformation happen. Letting go also shifts your perspective. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start recognizing your own resilience. Instead of focusing on what was taken from you, you begin to see what you've gained: strength, wisdom, and the ability to move forward. This shift empowers you to reclaim your narrative and take ownership of your story. Letting go is an act of trust. It's trusting that you'll be okay without the things, people, or situations you're releasing. It's trusting that life has more to offer you, and that holding on too tightly only blocks the flow of what's meant for you. This trust can feel scary at first, but it's also where freedom resides. Freedom to let life unfold without clinging to what was. The process of letting go is rarely linear. It can feel like an emotional roller coaster, with moments of clarity followed by waves of doubt or pain. But each step, no matter how small, is progress. Letting go is not a single act, but a series of choices you make every day. Over time, those choices build a sense of peace and liberation that outweighs the heaviness of holding on. Ultimately, letting go is about reclaiming your power. It's realizing that you don't have to be defined by what hurt you or held you back. By letting go, you release the chains of the past and step into a version of yourself that is lighter, freer, and more aligned with the life you deserve. It's not always easy, but it is always worth it. Living your life to its fullest potential is the most profound form of revenge. It's not about seeking to harm those who hurt you or proving them wrong directly. It's about focusing on yourself and becoming everything they said you couldn't be. True revenge is silent, powerful, and rooted in your own happiness and success, not in seeking validation or payback from others. So, if you're burning for revenge, why will you wait? Live your life. Live your life. Live your life. When you make your life your greatest revenge, you shift the focus from others to yourself. Instead of dwelling on the pain, betrayal, or disappointment caused by someone else, you channel that energy into growth and transformation. Every achievement, every moment of joy becomes a testament to your strength and resilience. It's not about them, it's about reclaiming your power. The beauty of this approach is that it frees you from the cycle of negativity. Revenge rooted in bitterness often keeps you tied to the person or situation that hurt you. But when you make your life your revenge, you break free from that tie. You rise above the pain, choosing not to let it define you or hold you back. This freedom is the ultimate victory. Your success becomes the loudest statement. Every step forward, every dream realized, every ounce of peace you cultivate speaks louder than any words ever could. It's not about rubbing your achievements in someone's face. It's about showing through your actions that their attempts to diminish you failed. Your progress is undeniable, and it's yours alone. Focusing on your life also means prioritizing your happiness. You learn to find joy in the present moment, to celebrate the little wins, and to embrace the things that make you feel alive. This kind of fulfillment can't be taken away or diminished by others. It's a reflection of the life you've built for yourself, one that's rich in meaning and purpose. There is nothing in the world that has more value than what comes from your heart. Ultimately, that's where we find joy in the life we build for yourself. Turning your life into your greatest revenge also involves self-healing. The more you invest in your emotional, physical, and mental well-being, the stronger and more unshakable you become. Healing is a process, but every step you take toward wholeness is a step away from the hurt that tried to break you. In healing yourself, you prove that pain doesn't have the final say. This mindset shifts the way you view setbacks. Instead of seeing challenges as defeats, you see them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Each obstacle you overcome becomes a part of your story, a chapter in your journey of rising above. Your ability to persevere and thrive in the face of adversity is a testament to your resilience and determination. Ultimately, making your life your greatest revenge is about becoming untouchable. It's about building a life so full of love, success, and self-worth that no one's actions or opinions can shake your foundation. It's about being so focused on your growth that you don't have time to look back. Your life, lived authentically and unapologetically, becomes the greatest triumph of all.